Hello, everybody. How are you doing? This is Wisdom Moments on K24 with Miss C.J Atemo, the Sage. Hope that you are having a lovely day. Already this morning, you're up and running, your energy is high, and you have an expectation for this particular week that things are going to work out, even if they did not last week. Have you subscribed to the YouTube channel? I always begin by asking you that if you're new to this, or you're watching for the very first time, or probably the last time you caught up with us in the middle and you have never started with us right from the beginning, I like to do that. Have you subscribed to my YouTube channel, C.J Atemo? Kindly do so if you haven't, and then set notifications for the videos that will be uploaded, including this one, and watch, like, make sure that you leave some comments as well and share. I'm also on every social media platform, C.J Atemo on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook page, and you could also connect with me on LinkedIn at C.J Atemo. There is an email address, cj at gmail.com for those who would want to reach me on official matters, or you would want, to just get to know certain other things, clarifications, or you even want to share what you feel that we should be tackling. Let's get your feedback, and we would be so excited. I'm so grateful to those of you who have already been sending in their feedback, people who get in through the DM, through the inboxes, and they either seek clarification, ask questions, or even just tell what they would want us to talk about. This week and a few episodes, I want to be talking about handling stress. It is something that we keep on dealing with in various places, at the workplace, in relationships, in families, and people, especially today, when we talk about matters of mental wellness, we talk about how people are being pushed hard, and especially those who live in the cities and the urban areas who have got to wake up early in the morning, go to bed late, work through the day. They've got to meet certain targets, and everything around them is about numbers and figures. Everything must be making sense, and sometimes people just forget to live, and they get so stretched, and then they begin to feel stressed out. So how do we then handle stress? Because there's stress everywhere. As I've said, stress in the workplace and stress in every place. I'll just give basics and generally so, because I'm not focusing only on one part. But how do you handle stress? One of the ways to handle stress, which will be my number one, and what I'll be talking about today, is that you need to have realistic goals. Have realistic goals. There is no use for you just getting out of college, for example, and beginning to expect that by next week you will have traveled the whole globe. It is unrealistic. Well, it is possible, but it is unrealistic. Or you were thinking that you will have made so much money within 2 weeks. This is how people get into schemes that then they lose money in because they are in a hurry. Their goals are unrealistic. It is good to be ambitious. It is good to have a drive. It is good to have a desire. I mean, life would be so boring if people didn't have any drive, any dream, any desire. If they had no passion, they just have apathy, they're aloof. That would be so boring. I mean, why would you even wake up when you don't even know why you're waking up? That's a very difficult place for you to be. But as much as we need to have goals and we've got to have dreams, and we talk about in our day, dream big, go big or go home and all of that, that alone could become a source of pressure. Sometimes it makes you not appreciate the little steps that you're making in life. So you need to have realistic goals. You need to know that at this particular stage, there is what big represents. Big is not a very standard term for everybody. So you need to know what is big at every stage. And then you need to know that you've got to break down all these goals. You know about the short term and the mid term and the long term goals. You need to break those down. You need to know what you will do in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s. Some of the people that we look at have done whatever they are doing for 25 years. They have built their portfolios, built their wealth, built their networks for 30 years, for 15 years, for 10 years. They have kept on going at their skill. They have improved on their performance for 10, 15, 35 years. It is unrealistic to expect that you will be on the same level with them overnight. You may be gifted, you may be even more gifted, but do not think that the gift is everything. Never think that the skill set is everything. There are networks, there is trust, there's something about being credible, believability, people who have track records. So sometimes you may feel that you are more skilled than somebody, but then they have a bigger network, they have stayed on it longer, so they get a bit more favors because people have tested them and seen them to be credible, so they are earning from the currency of trust. And you may be doing everything. And so sometimes you will hear, especially when people are new in something, or the younger ones, they will say, I do all the work and the other person gets all the credit. Sometimes it's not so much about the work, it is about how somebody has built themselves over time. Be realistic with your goals. You are not coming out, for example, into life to change the world overnight. Everybody plays a role in the change that they need to see. People join politics and they think that they will change the political landscape overnight. People get out of school and they feel that the knowledge they have is what the world has been waiting for. Yes, it is, but it is not going to change the world which has been here for thousands of years overnight. People just get into spaces, they get into a job, and they feel that they're the ones who will turn it around. It is actually said that whenever companies go through transitions and they bring in the superstar managers and CEOs, they mostly don't do very well. That most of the transitions that have been successful have been with people who either grew within the company or people who did not even have any big name. They weren't celebrity CEOs. They just came in and went through the boring routine day by day. They kept the basics and managed the expectations, which we'll talk about again this week. And they slowly just built those companies, especially if the company was going through a tough time, if it was going through a very difficult financial time. And you find that the people who actually pull those companies out of trouble are not the superstar CEOs. Why? Because those people have got realistic goals. And the people around them also don't expect them to pull magic. So they allow them to move step by step. When you have realistic goals, it is easy for you to celebrate every step that you have. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is important for you to dream big and to think big. It is important for you to want more, but you also have got to understand and appreciate process. That means that you also have got to allow time for process. You have to allow time for a baby who has been conceived to grow in the womb to the point of them being brought forth 9 months down the line. You've got to have that. It is going to be crazy for you to expect that just because you think that you've got a strong seed so the baby will come out at 3 weeks. You've got to be realistic about that. Be realistic about when you will complete school, even if you went back to school in your middle age like I did. Be realistic about that. Do not try to take up everything at the same time because you want to be everything at the same time. Have realistic goals and you will really reduce your stress levels. So if you have to take up a bit more activity, you have to focus on the fact that you don't probably have all the time, all the energy, all the resources. So you can easily say no to some things and say yes to what you know you can do, because no matter how you feel, you cannot do everything, and you cannot be everywhere, and you cannot be with everybody. Well, that's all the time that I've had today on Wisdom Moments on K24 with Ms. C.J Atemo the Sage. I hope that this has been helpful to you. Keep it right here with me the whole of this week, same time, same place, and we will be talking about handling stress. So don't go anywhere, apart from if you're going to watch the YouTube channel C.J Atemo. See you.